everybody. Welcome back to Mia Talks Makeup. I am Mia McElree, for those of you who don't know. I am 18 and I'm just trying to become the best beauty makeup influencer I can be. For anyone new here, I just love makeup. I'm very passionate about it. I do makeup. I have an Instagram account. If you guys want to follow that, that's _makeup by Mia M on Instagram. I also have a YouTube account, but that's not really makeup. If you want to follow that, subscribe. That's Mia McElree on YouTube. And then my personal Instagram is Mia2_11. If you guys want to follow that, just see more of me. But yes, makeup, I love it, and that's why I'm going to be talking about it a lot in here. So in today's episode, we are going to be discussing celebrities in the makeup industry. Specifically, I'll be focusing on Kylie Jenner, Rhianna, and Selena Gomez. Obviously, all three very influential women in the beauty industry. So I guess I'll just get right into it. So starting off, we have Kylie Jenner. She owns Kylie Cosmetics. She also owns Kylie Skin, Kylie Baby, Kylie Swim. You know what? She likes her name. What can I say? She obviously is Kris Jenner's daughter, also in the Kardashian clan, if you will. A lot of people argue if she's self-made or not because, well, she was the first one to venture off and do makeup and do that entire thing herself. A lot of people say she's self-made, especially because she's a billionaire and she was the first one to become a billionaire. But a lot of other people are like, well, she had a name before, so. Which I can also see. She didn't just start from nothing. But yes, I love Kylie Cosmetics. It is one of my favorite makeup brands. I use it probably the most. Either that or Tarte. I love all her limited edition collections. They're always so fun. The packaging is amazing, which I also think is like such an underrated thing that so many people just look past. I know a lot of people like the clean aesthetic and a lot of people nowadays like that, or like the more modern chic, but I love how her packaging is always so fun and like creative. That's my favorite thing. But yeah, she's also a mom of 2. So she has her hands full with that and running her billion-dollar business and flying her private jet everywhere. But yes, so I think Kylie Jenner definitely is a huge influence on the makeup world today, especially with the lip kits that came out. That was like a huge thing that like, it was a staple. It was like a revolution in makeup, if you will. Like no one, to my knowledge, no one's ever done that before, all in one. A lip liner and a lipstick to match. Perfect idea. Great seller. I think that's literally, well, it kind of is the reason she became the billionaire. She deserves it. So the next person I'll be talking about is Rhianna. She's the owner of Fenty Beauty. She obviously just performed at the Super Bowl halftime performance where she set her face in the middle of her set with her setting powder. Great marketing. Had a whole campaign just for the Super Bowl. The halftime performers don't get paid, but she definitely made her brand out of it. She also has Fenty Skin and I believe Fenty Clothing, something like that. I'm not for sure. Don't quote me on that, but she has something other than that. Their searches went right up after that halftime performance, which good for her. If she didn't get paid, she's definitely going to get some revenue out of it. She also was a mother. She just announced that she was pregnant with her second child at the Super Bowl. That was a huge thing. Everyone was like, well, is she pregnant? Yeah, she was. Good for her. And she did that whole entire performance pregnant. So good for her. I don't actually own any Fenty Beauty products, unfortunately. I really wish I did. But I will say for my prom, my senior year, my makeup artist used one of her Fenty lip glosses on me. And it was great. It smelled great too, which I also think is very underrated. I think scents also incorporate everything with how you feel, how you look, just the overall end product. So yes, I also heard that all of her products are great. I know her highlighters are very popular, her shade ranges, which we'll get more into that later. So then the next person we will be talking about is Selena Gomez with Rare Beauty. Selena, obviously, she was a child actress, a great singer. I mean, she's Selena Gomez, what can I say? Wizards of Waverly Place, Alex Russo, dated Justin Bieber. Obviously, she's a lot more than just dating Justin Bieber, but she's done very well for herself. She also has very good values, which, again, in Hollywood today, kind of hard to find, kind of hard to see again. She also is very positive about like her look and her image. Like no matter if she's gained a little weight, lost a little weight, it's her and she owns up to it, and it's very influential for a lot of girls. And also with her beauty brand Rare, a lot of the stuff is more natural, clean, which I also think is great for the younger audience, especially if you're just getting into makeup, when you just want to do the little creams. And I think that's very like telling to who she is. She also wants to go for the more natural look, which I also think can look great on people of older age. So the next topic we will be getting into is inclusivity. While looking into Kylie Cosmetics, I found Gabby Thorne's article, Kylie Cosmetics Concealer and Setting Powder are now sold at Ulta. This article talks about these products now being sold at Ulta, as well as the shade range and their prices as well. So Kylie Cosmetics, which obviously is owned by Kylie Jenner, the concealer that was dropped in 2017, and unfortunately they still don't have it on their website, it's not made anymore. The concealers launched with 30 different shades in them, ensuring that there was a shade for everybody, so no matter your race, your undertone, you can find a concealer for you. They retailed for $20, and that was for 0.22 ounces, so not that much, but again, you have to remember concealers are smaller than like a foundation. You're not using it on your entire face, you're only using it for the highlights. So honestly, that's actually a pretty good bang for your buck if you ask me. That's my opinion, but I also personally never use these, but I love Kylie Cosmetics. I think everything I do own from them I love, so I'm sure that it would be no different with these. When looking for brands with wide shade ranges, I found Mia McElree's article 8 beauty brands with the widest shade ranges. This talks about different brands that have large shade ranges, the products, and the number of shades that they have. It talks about both Fenty Beauty as well as Rare Beauty. The next thing is from Fenty Beauty by Rhianna, the Pro Filter Soft Matte Lounge Foundation that was also launched in 2017. It comes in 40 different shades, which can sell to such a huge market, which is also a very good marketing strategy, because the bigger your shade range is, the more you can sell to people, and people of different backgrounds that may not have other shades and other beauty brands. And there's really a lack of thought about that in the beauty industry, which I think is great that Rhianna did this. Obviously, she's a woman of color, and she obviously has to think about that, like considering when she does her own makeup and when people do her own makeup. But I mean, I think she did great with this. A lot of the shades were already sold out, the darker ones, as soon as they launched, which obviously is very telling that there was a need for that in the market. And the best part about it, it was only $34 for 1.8 ounces. So $34 for a good high quality foundation is not a lot. I mean, there's some that sell upwards of $80, even $100. I mean, if you find something that you like and for cheap and that you matches your shade, I would definitely recommend sticking with it. But I think Rhianna definitely does a great job at being very inclusive. I do think that also does come from her being a woman of color, but I mean, I think it should become more of a universal thing. And also, with going back to the Kylie Cosmetics thing, even though that was also released in 2017, Kylie's concealers, it did come out after Rihanna's 40 shade ranges, so that was a huge moment in the beauty industry. So the last and final thing I will be talking about is Rare Beauty by Selena Gomez, the Liquid Touch Weightless Foundation, and their Liquid Touch Brightening Concealer, which were released in 2020. Each came in 48 shades, ensuring everyone can find their perfect match. I did use the concealer, not on myself, but when I was doing my little cousin's makeup for one of her school dances, she had that and she wanted me to use that because it matches her shade. So I used that on both of my little cousins actually, and I loved it. I loved how it blended, which is a very hard thing for me personally to find in a concealer. I personally use the Tarte C Collection concealer, and I like that one because it doesn't dry down super quick and it's very blendable even if you leave it on your face for a little, which I think is great. And the same thing happened with these Rare Beauty ones. They were easily blendable. They blended perfectly into the skin. I did moisturize their faces before I did it, but I mean, I don't know how much that had an impact in it. I think it was more just this product. So the concealer, I would definitely recommend. Now, the foundation, I haven't had too many chances to use, or at all, honestly. But also, I did use her liquid blushes, which are also all the craze on TikTok, especially right now. My sister owns 2 of them, and again, my little cousin has one, so I used those on them for their dance, and I've also used my sister's on her before. which I also do think blend well. You just have to be careful when you put them on in the process, because obviously it's a cream, and if you're powders, you just got to be careful with that. But yes, while having 48 shades, that was the largest range out of all three of these brands. The foundation costs $30 for 0.94 ounces, and then the concealer costs $22 for 0.25 ounces. So again, I do think that these are very reasonably priced. The most expensive one was the Fenty Beauty foundation out of the foundations, and then the most expensive concealer was the Rare Beauty one. I believe that that's completely fine. There was more product in that. And then the most expensive foundation was the Fenty one, which also had more product in it. So I believe that you get what you're paying for, especially product-wise. But yes, I think that across all three of these brands, they are very inclusive across the board. I think that all three of these brands do a great job of including everybody, and I would buy from each one of them, to be completely honest with you. I think they all have great ethics. I think they all know what they stand for. I think they were all very powerful women, which is also a great thing. Obviously, in the makeup industry, you do get more women, but I think that's great. The more the better. But yes, thank you so much for listening. I will talk to you guys in the next episode. Thank you. Today's episode was made possible by Gabby Thorne, Mia McElree, Sephora.com, Ulta.com, eBay.com, Adobe's Audio, and Apple Music. Thank you guys for listening.